Bryan Kohberger was allegedly able to stab 4 Idaho college students to death in just a few minutes, well, it's a big question for the prosecution to explain to the rest of us, specifically the jury, but some insight into his past may give us some clues. Turns out Kohberger knew how to use a knife. Bryan worked as a fish cutter. He was a fillet man when he was in high school, trained to cut and fillet raw fish. I know how to do it. Means you got to know how to use a knife. We'll see how Kohberger was.
This is Reporter Room with Jessica Della Davies.
Hello, Reporter Room investigators. Come on in, come on in. As we learn more about Bryan Kohberger, we are learning that he was able to use technology. But despite that, we have new evidence about Bryan Kohberger and his digital footprint. Let's discuss. My sourcing on this is The Independent. And Bryan Kohberger's preparation, the experts were set to testify, and they are sharing with us now that he didn't just Google these cases. He didn't just look these up. It went beyond that. So I'm not going to read the article for you. I just wanted to show you my sourcing. And I also wanted to share that digital silence is proof. So come on in, tell me where you are from. So more details are beginning to trickle out that were previously sealed by the two biggest police departments, which were the Pullman Police Department and the Moscow Police Department. But we also have the Idaho State Police that were involved, the FBI, and the Washington State Police to some extent were also involved. So we're getting a lot of new reports and court docs that are streaming out. And the Independent learned that what they learned about BK from his digital footprint. So this is coming from the Celebrate team. Now, this team uncovered files that were scrubbed from BK's devices, including information he routed through various VPNs, and then deep downloads on SKs, not just like going through it a little bit. He was deep diving this. And what they are saying is that the Celebrate team, is that this painted a chilling picture of obsession. And we know Bryan Kohberger did suffer from obsessive compulsive disorder. So the obsession is not a shock, but the planning, the forethought, and the maliciousness that went into this crime. So while the DNA from the knife sheath is ultimately what tied Bryan Kohberger to the crime scene, the Celebrate team was able to fill in other information, including how premeditated these crimes really were. Now, forensic analysis revealed that BK's phone had only 4 periods, you guys, of total inactivity dating back to June of 2022. So it wasn't like he switched his phone off all the time. And so what was one of the times that phone was turned off? It was during the time of the crimes at the 1122 King Road home. And now Jared is saying that he didn't just lose a signal. He didn't just let his battery run out. He said this was an action button. He pressed the power off intentionally and then turned the power back on intentionally. So his phone didn't die. It wasn't put into airplane mode. And he said this was in the middle of his turning his phone off and then turning it on. He did away with Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, and Xana. And we know he did this because he has admitted to it. So I want to talk about Bryan Kohberger's obsession. Bryan Kohberger was obsessed. He was a criminology student, as you well know, at WSU, and he had long been immersed in the study of crimes. And as I've shared with you in the past, I think his psychology degree, his bachelor's degree, was about Bryan Kohberger trying to figure out who he was, whereas his criminology degree, his master's degree, and his pursuit of a PhD, that was BK trying to decide who he was going to be. Was he going to become a professor? Was he going to become an instructor at a law enforcement academy? Or was he going to become an SK? Well, we do know the answer to that. So it went from academic to absolutely creepy and obsessive. So Heather says that he didn't just Google these cases, and he downloaded the full PDFs of the case files, not once, but repeatedly. He was downloading detailed reports on SKs, including Danny Rolling, who also took out college students, I'm watching my words, with a similar knife. So to determine exactly what happened during that 2-hour window on the night of November 13th of 2022, the Celebrate team recreated the digital environment and studied Bryan Kohberger's call logs. And what they found out is absolutely bizarre and very telling. I think it's incriminating. So so this whole thing of Bill Thompson going around saying there wasn't very much, I don't know. There was. They had plenty of evidence. He could have taken it to trial. I'm not saying he should have. I'm just saying he could have. So this is what Heather is saying. She said this wasn't from the Celebrate team. She said this wasn't casual browsing. This was meticulous research. This is how she's characterizing it. So she said to determine exactly what happened, they recreated a digital environment and studied Bryan Kohberger's call logs. She said turning off your cell phone is not enough. You have to disable the Wi-Fi, you have to disable cellular, and then you have to power down. And guess what, you guys? That's what the Celebrate team says he did. He didn't just turn his phone off. Like some people have said, he wanted to conserve his battery. No, he disabled the Wi-Fi, he disabled the cellular, and then he turned it off, powering the phone down. So get this, the Celebrate team also discovered that in the days right before and right after that, BK disabled his Wi-Fi access to his devices and routed his traffic through NordVPN. Now, this is a tool designed to make it anonymous, make your activities online anonymous. So he did apply for a job, you will recall, with the Pullman Police Department. And during this job application, he wanted to teach the Pullman Police Department how to solve crimes using technology. And I told you guys, I thought that he had scrubbed a lot of stuff, and he did, but they were still able to gather enough that it looks really, really bad for Bryan Kohberger. So they discovered that in the days right before, the days after, he was rerouting his traffic. He disabled his Wi-Fi access and was rerouting everything through a NordVPN tool. And she said that while this act is not criminal, it was abnormal for Bryan Kohberger. This is what Jared said. Now, he said that Bryan Kohberger, BK, was diligent in prep and cleanup, and he made our job really hard. This was someone who tried really hard not to be detected. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It's free and it helps me out a lot. Give this a thumbs up and drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff.